Welcome to Roughing It with Ruth, the channel where everything is a bit rough around the edges. In this video, I'm going to go over my own experience with using the Garmin Fenix 5 watch. I've had this watch for quite a while, and it's been pretty good for my purposes. I find it accurate enough for trail running and hiking. And I have used it for a few other things such as yoga and Zumba. It can also do a whole lot of other sports, including golf and stand-up paddle boarding, just about anything you can think of really. I do really love this watch, but it is not perfect, and there are definitely some things that irritate me on the watch, and I'll get into those at the end of this video. So the watch has quite a lot of different features, and this can either be a pro or a con, depending what kind of person you are. Initially, I did find it a little bit overwhelming how many settings and options there were, but once you've got it set up exactly how you like it, it is actually quite nice. You can put almost anything that you want on the data screens if you're tracking a run or a hike or any other activity, so you can pick the metrics that you actually want to see on those screens. The watch has a track back feature where if you stop your trail, then you can select to go back home along the same trail that you've walked. And that's been really nice for me when I'm walking in a place that I'm unfamiliar with and I get lost. I can just select that feature and retrace my steps back to the start. It also has a resume later function, so if you stop your track when you stop for lunch, for instance, you can just say resume later, and then you can continue that self-same track once you're done with lunch. Some of the other features that I use all the time on this watch are the alarm clock and the timer, particularly when I'm cooking. That's really useful because my watch is on me the whole time and I can feel it vibrate when the timer goes off. I also use the flashlight function, which just turns the screen completely white, and that has been incredibly useful during load shedding when I'm not right at a torch immediately and I just need to be able to navigate towards my headlamp or torch. That function on the watch has been really useful. One of the main reasons why I bought this watch in the first place is because it's got such great battery life. When I talked just now about resuming later over a lunch break, I regularly forget to do that and just leave the watch tracking right over every single break that we take during a backpacking trip, and it has never run out of battery unexpectedly. Another feature that I find pretty cool on this watch is that you can customize the watch face itself. The one that I've got on is actually of Mount Fuji, but you can get any watch face that your heart desires. There are so many options out there, and it's quite nice to be able to customize your watch like that. The other thing that I really like about this watch in comparison to the older versions of the Garmin watches is that it's got quick release watch straps. So it's very, very easy to change out the watch straps. And that leads me right into the section of the video where I talk about the things that I don't like about this watch, because the initial watch strap that came with this watch, the little stays that hold down the excess watch strap were really flimsy. They were just bad quality and they broke off. But on the new watch strap that I got as a gift from Ralph, that does not seem to be the case. So I'm not sure if Garmin has maybe dealt with that problem, but so far with my new watch strap, I haven't had any issues with anything breaking. Another thing that I think many people are going to find problematic, but which I don't care about at all, is the size of the watch. It is really big, and it's big because it needs that large battery for the battery life. I really don't mind. I wear this watch in my everyday life as well. The size doesn't bother me, even though I do have pretty thin wrists. But if the size does bother you, the Garmin Fenix S series is a bit smaller. The S stands for small. It obviously then just does have a little bit of a hit on the battery life. My main gripe with this watch is it not being particularly reliable or stable, I guess, in terms of a sort of software aspect. I have had probably about 3 or 4 experiences where the watch just freezes up or sort of shuts down even, which is really irritating and sometimes actually quite frightening, because the one time when it did that was when I was using the track back feature because I was actually lost, and I had to sort of turn the watch off and on and hope that my track wasn't lost, that I could still track back on that same track. And I have tried several things to fix this. I have upgraded the firmware several different times. I'm actually now at the point where I want to just factory reset everything and start from the beginning because it's pretty annoying. Another thing that it does occasionally, which is also super annoying, is it just doesn't turn on my alarms. I'll set an alarm to go off daily at 6 o'clock, and it will go off daily for like 3 days, and then it will just randomly not go off anymore. One of the major downsides of the Garmin Fenix watches in general is just that they are so expensive. They really are, I think, one of the highest end watches out there. And when you pay that much for a watch, it is quite annoying when it doesn't work 100% of the time. So if you'd prefer to go for a more budget-friendly watch, then I would suggest looking for the Garmin Fenix 5 either second-hand or just on special, because it is no longer the newest version of the Garmin Fenix watches. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see more from me, then you can subscribe to my channel, or you can click on my channel name to see videos that I've made in the past.